Hello, this is Rekha Govindan. Today I am speaking about the principles to be followed while establishing an occlusion in an dentate individual. So, what is occlusion? Occlusion is the dynamic relationship of the occlusal surfaces of maxillary and mandibular teeth in contact during mandibular function. Occlusion is the most controversial and yet the most important topic in dentistry. Occlusion is more mechanical than biological. We have to understand the leverages, the position of the fulcrum, the load, and the effort. So, looking at the principles, the first principle to be followed is retruded contact position should be equal to the intercuspal contact position at an area of centric relation. This is nothing but the pattern of contact of the occlusal surfaces of maxillary and mandibular teeth when the mandible is in centric relation is identical to the pattern of contact of the occlusal surfaces of maxillary and mandibular teeth when the cusp and fossae are in maximum intercuspation. In other words, you are establishing an occlusion such that the patient's teeth are in maximum intercuspation when the mandible is in centric relation. Okay? Why? Because centric relation position is the most predictable, reliable, and repeatable position. When you are establishing an occlusion, in case you have to increase the vertical dimension of occlusion, the MIP, that is the maximum intercuspal position, would be lost. So the only thing that you could rely on, which is stable, is the bone-to-bone relation, that is the centric relation position. Hence, the occlusion is established at CR. Next principle to be followed is mutually protected occlusion. That is, the anterior teeth are protecting the posterior teeth while in occlusion, and the posterior teeth in return are protecting the anterior teeth. The length and position of the anterior teeth is such that when they are in edge-to-edge relation or when they are in contact, as the mandible moves from CR to edge position, there is posterior disocclusion. The posterior teeth are no longer in contact. And the posterior teeth, the height and contour of the posterior teeth is such that when they are in contact, when you bite hard with your posterior teeth, there is a slight gap between the anterior teeth. Okay, so that is the mutually protected occlusion. The third principle is anterior guidance. That is nothing but the influence of the contact between the mandibular and maxillary incisors when the mandible is in function. That is the position of the maxillary incisors, the three-dimensional position, apicocoronally, buccolingually, anteroposteriorly, the position of the maxillary incisors in the arch, the angulation, the labiolingual angulation of the maxillary incisors, the contour, the shape of the contour of the lingual surfaces of maxillary incisors, and the position of its incisal edge is such that there is posterior disocclusion when the mandible moves forward and comes to the edge position of the anterior teeth. So the anterior guidance ensures that the posteriors are not in contact when the anteriors are in edge position. The anterior guidance also helps in establishing canine guided relation when the mandible moves in lateral excursion, that is sideward movement. When the mandible moves, only the maxillary and mandibular canines maintain contact. There is disocclusion or no contact between the teeth anterior to the canine and between the teeth posterior to the canine. So the mandible, when the mandible moves to the right side, only the right maxillary and mandibular canines maintain contact. All the other teeth are not in contact. When the mandible moves to the left maxillary and mandibular canines are in contact. All the other teeth, anterior and posterior to it, are not in contact. So that is protecting the posterior teeth, because this lateral movement produces angled forces and the teeth are most susceptible or weakest under angled forces. Okay. And lateral excursive movements are seen usually in parafunction. Functional movements of chewing and swallowing are more up and down motion, anterior posterior motion. Okay. The next principle to be followed is no non-working side contacts. That is, when you're chewing food on the right side, your left teeth are not in contact. Here again, why? Because the non-working side contacts, the forces are at an angle. And as I said earlier, the teeth are strongest under compressive forces, the forces falling along the long axis of the teeth. The forces coming at an angle or rotational or torsional forces falling onto the teeth are most detrimental or harmful to the teeth. And those forces are the ones which are seen on the non-working side. So you should have contact only on the working side in order to protect the teeth. That is how you establish an occlusion. Posterior stability is the final principle to be followed. That is the pattern of contact across the arch. Across the arch meaning from the posterior most tooth on the right side, go on to the anteriors to the posterior most tooth onto the left side of the arch. Across the arch, the timing of contact between the maxillary and mandibular occlusal surfaces, the timing meaning the first point of contact, the time at which they come in contact first, and the duration, the time period they are in contact. This timing of contact, the area of contact, the surface area of the teeth which are in contact, and the force with which these surfaces come in contact. These three factors should be uniform, should be same across the arch. That maintains posterior stability. Okay, the cusp and fossae should be shaped such that all these factors are uniform across the arch. That ensures posterior stability. So these are the principles to be followed when you are establishing. What do you mean by establishing? That is, you are creating a new occlusion. Why would a patient come to you for establishing a new relationship between the occlusal surfaces? The reason could be either aesthetic, severe wearing of the teeth, anterior teeth and posterior teeth, which is affecting his aesthetics, or it could be functional. The patient has got discomfort while chewing his food because of some interference, that is more contact on some parts of the arch than the other parts of the arch. These two reasons are the usually seen when the patient comes to you asking for a new relationship or a new occlusion to be established. Okay, it could be either aesthetic or functional. So these principles are to be followed. You do not look only at the occlusal surfaces. You look at the contour and height of the posterior and anterior teeth. You look at the shape of the arch, the relationship of the maxillary and mandibular arches, both apicocoronally, buccolingually, anterior-posterior, three-dimensional relationship of the arches. You look at the patient's shape of the face, whether it is long and thin, dolichocephalic, or broad and heavy, brachycephalic. Okay, you look at the proportions of the face, both vertical proportions and horizontal proportions, upper third, middle third, and lower third, because that will help in determining the vertical dimension when you're establishing the occlusion. So you're looking at the face, its proportion, its symmetry, and also the display of teeth. Display of teeth in repose, when the lips are in repose. Lips in repose means the lips are slightly apart. Then in gradual smile and in maximum smile. The display of teeth in all these three conditions. Then you're looking at the patient's vocation, profession, whether that is affecting the patient having any habit. Okay, so you will inquire whether the patient has any habit, taking a history. You will ask about the patient's occupation. Occupation related habits are usually like a tailor holding onto a pin all the time, or a teacher or a carpenter having a habit of holding onto a pencil with the teeth. Okay, then you will look at the patient's psyche, whether the patient is under any tremendous mental stress, or patient has any sleep apnea or disorders. All these factors are considered before you establish a occlusion, an ideal occlusion for a dentate individual, because that occlusion that you have established should be maintainable over a very long period of time. Okay, thank you.